Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today, we're diving into a fascinating discussion on the metaverse, specifically the differences between Microsoft's approach and that of Facebook, or rather, now Meta.
I'm excited to get into this. Metaverse discussions can be so layered and intricate.
Absolutely, it's like two sides of the same coin, but with some really distinct flavors. Microsoft is taking this enterprise and collaboration route, while Meta is leaning hard into social interactions in a more,
Yep,
immersive lifestyle vision.
right. And it's interesting because on one hand, we've got Microsoft using Mesh for Teams and HoloLens to drive business collaboration. And on the other, Facebook rebranded to Meta to signal that they're about building a full-fledged social universe.
Exactly. Microsoft's vision with Mesh for Teams is centered around improving workplace interactions using mixed reality. Imagine virtual meetings that are way more engaging, collaborative whiteboards, and even virtual offices.
Mhm. And that sort of hierarchical, structure based approach is very different compared to Meta's bottom up method, which is more about creating a vast immersive environment where users can meet, socialize, and even attend events like concerts or virtual meetups.
Yeah, it's like um, Microsoft is working on the internal mechanics of work life, custom environments for routine tasks, while Meta is painting a broader picture of a digital future where, everything from hanging out to shopping is in a virtual space.
Right. I also found it interesting how both companies are using virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, and even AI to support their visions. Microsoft's integration of HoloLens in manufacturing, for example, is all about real time data, quality control, and training in a hybrid world.
Exactly. It's like they've taken the best of both worlds, digital and physical, and blended them to create something that really serves enterprise needs. And Meta, on the other side, is putting forward these fun virtual residences like Horizon Home and Skyline Homes, where the focus is on,
Yeah,
community and creativity.
I mean, just think about it. For Microsoft, gaming titles like Minecraft are already kind of a metaverse on their own. And Satya Nadella mentioned that gaming is an immersive experience already. So they're using that familiarity to make a smoother transition for work collaborations.
Right. Although I wonder if that's, a bit of a stretch sometimes. I mean, comparing a game environment like Minecraft with a serious business collaboration tool might not satisfy all enterprise needs without some extra tweaks.
Sure, there's room for debate. Exactly, it's a valid point. There's always a risk in oversimplifying or overgeneralizing across such diverse use cases. But it does highlight how, despite similarities, each company is taking a very tailored approach to their respective metaverse offerings.
Yes, and what's really captivating is how both companies believe in the metaverse's transformative potential. Facebook, or Meta, sees it as a trillions dollar opportunity that will comprehensively change our social fabric. Meanwhile, Microsoft is more focused on um, leveraging it for productivity and
Absolutely.
improving digital workspaces.
And then there are the technical aspects, the blend of VR, AR, AI, even cryptocurrencies are mentioned as part of the broader ecosystem. It's like each element is a puzzle piece in this digital revolution.
Right. It's like um, imagine if all your senses could be digitally replicated: sight, sound, touch, and even motion, and all that combined to form this coherent digital universe that mirrors real life in strange but effective ways.
That's a pretty wild thought. It's also interesting how both companies are experimenting with prototypes. For instance, Meta's early experiments like Horizon Home offer playful yet futuristic spaces, almost like a more interactive version of what we see in some popular video games.
Yeah, it's like they're tapping into that consumer excitement around gaming and social media. And meanwhile, Microsoft's initiative with Mesh aims for something more utilitarian. Think of it as a digital meeting room that's, way more engaging than a plain Zoom call.
Exactly. Now, what's really intriguing is the idea that while Microsoft's metaverse is built more on predictable, structured environments, Meta's design is a bit more organic and broad spectrum. Essentially, Microsoft's environment is more engineered for collaboration, whereas Meta's is shaped for limitless interaction.
Yeah, and that brings us to a key difference: the enterprise versus consumer focus. Microsoft leverages their long standing enterprise tools, think Teams and Office, and integrates them into the metaverse, ensuring there's a workflow
Yep, that
continuity.
consistency really stands out. But on the flip side, isn't there a risk if the metaverse becomes too fragmented? I mean, a consumer based approach has its own challenges too, especially with privacy issues and the overload of data.
Yeah, that's a valid challenge. Facebook's struggles with outages in its core apps, for example, could have massive repercussions if the metaverse becomes our central hub for daily interactions.
Mhm. In that regard, Microsoft's focus on the workspace might actually be a safer bet, though it has its own hurdles, like ensuring the balance between remote work and personal time.
Right? There's just so many layers here. And it's not just limited to work and socializing. The article mentioned applications like teaching future surgeons, product demonstrations, and even virtual tourism. It's almost like the metaverse will permeate every facet of our lives.
Exactly, it's a complete paradigm shift. Speaking of paradigm shifts, how do you see innovation teams preparing for such a broad, immersive environment? I mean, the guidelines for a brand entering the metaverse, researching target audiences, competitor analysis, product research, they all sound revolutionary and a bit overwhelming.
Uh, mm, it's definitely a balancing act. Brands have to not only understand the technical side, but also the um, human side of digital interactions. Imagine tailoring your product demos to a virtual reality where sensory experiences like sound and touch come into play. That's quite intricate.
Absolutely, it's a whole new level of engagement. And then there's the idea of customization. Brands might even build their own mini metaverses within these platforms, like Microsoft's envisioned colorful custom environments via Mesh for Teams.
Yes, it's like building your own little universe for your team or customers, which can be fine tuned for specific experiences, whether it's collaboration, learning, or even pure entertainment.
Right. What do you think about the broader implications for society? I mean, when work, play, and even healthcare converge in these digital realms, it alters everything we consider normal.
Totally. It reshapes social interactions. On one hand, it should enhance connectivity, but on the other, it might complicate the separation between digital and physical lives. That and the potential for over monitoring or data privacy issues. Imagine every move being tracked in an immersive setting.
That's a tricky balance. Absolutely. And then there's the question of how quickly society can adapt to such rapid technological shifts. The article hints that the metaverse is, in many ways, still in its early experimental phase despite the massive investments.
Yeah, it's almost like investing in the early days of the internet. There's huge potential, but also, you know, risks that come with the territory.
Right. And this brings us to a critical point. While both Meta and Microsoft aim to dominate in the metaverse space, they're playing to their strengths. Meta is focused on social connectivity and the immersive lifestyle, whereas Microsoft leverages enterprise tools and gaming heritage to create structured yet engaging environments.
You got it. And it's interesting to note that despite these differences, they both converge on the same core technologies: AR, VR, and AI. Yet their end goals diverge significantly.
Yeah, it's all about application, I guess. One thing I respectfully challenge is whether Meta's current issues with core apps might really hinder their push into a seamless metaverse experience. It seems like a potential red flag if your foundation is unstable.
That's a fair critique. If your everyday social platforms are facing outages or other issues, scaling that to a fully immersive environment could be quite problematic. Microsoft's reliance on well established enterprise solutions might give them a bit of an edge in that regard.
Exactly. And yet, both companies are investing millions with an eye on a future that's radically different from today's norms. It's fascinating to see how other players like Disney, Roblox, and Epic Games are also carving out their niches in this space.
Yes, they are really rounding out the ecosystem. From interactive theme park experiences to user generated digital worlds, the metaverse isn't confined to just one industry. It's a broad, evolving landscape. And that diversity is what makes it so compelling.
Right, it really is. And as we look to the future, there's this whole conversation about how work life balance and governance will adapt. HR and other departments will have to innovate policies significantly to ensure employees don't, you know, burn out in a fully immersive digital work environment.
Absolutely. With um, more data and higher sensory engagement comes the need for new safety protocols and digital wellness strategies. It's not just about technology, it's about safeguarding our very human interactions in an increasingly digital world.
That's a really important point. So, to round it up, while Microsoft and Meta are both racing towards their metaverse dreams, they stand on very different philosophies and target markets, from enhanced corporate collaboration to all encompassing social immersion. It's a thrilling race to watch, and it'll be interesting to see who truly revolutionizes our day to day lives.
Exactly. It's like watching two different visions of the future unfold simultaneously. And even though there are challenges on both sides, there's no doubt that the journey and the technology driving it will continue to evolve in ways we can only begin to imagine.
Right on point. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This conversation really offers a glimpse into how our digital and physical worlds might merge in the near future.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening and joining this energetic chat on the metaverse. Catch you next time for more deep dives into emerging tech